Picture this. She's checking her phone for the fifth time in an hour, refreshing your profile, reading old messages, wondering why you haven't texted. You didn't curse her out. You didn't play games. You simply stopped reaching out. Let me tell you something most men don't realize. Your silence hurts women more than your words ever could. Here's the truth from a woman's perspective. When a man goes silent, it's not just absence. It's psychological. Every hour you don't text creates a void in her mind that she cannot ignore. Her psychology shifts through 5 stages. From confusion to panic, to something that completely changes how she sees you. I'm going to walk you through what's happening inside her head right now. The exact thoughts she's having, the behaviors you'll notice, and what you should do when she finally breaks. If you've gone silent and you're wondering what she's thinking, this is the answer you need. Before we get into the stages, here's what you need to understand. Silence isn't manipulation when it's real. If you're pulling back because you're genuinely focusing on yourself, because you're tired of one-sided effort, that's a boundary. That's self-respect. And that's what triggers her psychology. When a man who used to be consistent suddenly goes quiet, it creates a psychological shift. Women talk about with each other but rarely admit to men. We notice, we feel it, and our minds go through a predictable pattern. I'm going to walk you through 5 stages her mind moves through, from the moment she realizes you're gone quiet, to the moment she either respects you differently or exits completely. Now, one thing before we start. This works when there was genuine interest to begin with. If she was never really into you, silence just confirms the distance. But if there was something real, even if she took you for granted, your silence will reveal it. Let's start with stage 1. Stage 1 happens fast. Within the first 6 to 12 hours of you going silent, her first thought isn't panic. It's curiosity. He's probably busy. Maybe his phone died. Something came up at work. He'll text when he can. She's used to a certain rhythm with you. Good morning texts. Check-ins during the day. Those late-night conversations. Consistent communication. When that rhythm breaks, her brain notices the pattern shift even if she doesn't consciously realize it yet. This is where the phone checking starts. She opens her messages, scrolls up to see your last conversation, reads your last text again, wondering if her response was off, checks if you viewed her story, looks to see if you're active online, refreshes her notifications. Not obsessively, not desperately, just more than usual. Here's what she's thinking. Did I say something wrong? Is he upset with me? Maybe I misread his tone. Should I text him? No, that's needy. I'll wait. He'll text soon. He always does. She's running through recent conversations in her head, replaying moments, tone, context, trying to pinpoint if she did something that might have pushed you away, analyzing her last message, second-guessing her responses. But here's the thing. She doesn't panic yet because her ego is still intact. In her mind, you're probably just busy. You'll text eventually. You always have before. She's dealt with guys going quiet before, and most of them came back chasing harder. So she tells herself this is temporary. Nothing has really changed. But the seed of doubt is planted. The comfort she had, the certainty that you'd always be there, the security of knowing she could count on your attention, starts to crack just a little. She notices your absence more than she expected to. The good morning text that didn't come. The usual check-in that never happened. And here's what you'll see on your end. She might post more on social media, stories about her day, her mood, what she's doing, pictures that seem casual but are really checking if you're watching, subtle messages about being unbothered. She's not reaching out yet, but she's testing to see if you're still paying attention, if you still care. That's stage 1. Confusion mixed with curiosity. She's not worried yet, but she's noticed. And that noticing matters. And after 24 hours of silence, her psychology shifts to something deeper. Stage 2. 24 to 48 hours of silence. This is where everything changes. That curiosity from stage 1, it turns into something sharper. Something defensive. Here's the realization that hits her. He's not chasing me anymore. Think about that. Most men, when a woman pulls back or goes cold, they chase harder. They double text. They explain. They try to fix it. She's used to that pattern. She's used to being the one who gets pursued. But you didn't chase. You went quiet. And now her brain has to process what that means. The power dynamic just shifted. And she feels it. She might not admit it out loud, but internally, something clicks. Wait. He's not coming after me. Does that mean he doesn't care? Or does it mean he has options? That second question is the one that triggers everything. Because scarcity just became real. Here's where the testing starts. She posts more on social media. Not random posts. Targeted content. Pictures where she looks good. Stories about how great her day is. Captions that seem casual but are designed to get a reaction. She's checking to see if you're watching. If you'll comment. If you'll react. She's not doing this consciously with a calculated plan. It's psychological. When attention we're used to receiving suddenly disappears, we instinctively try to pull it back. And here's what's happening inside her head. She's telling herself, I don't even care. He can do whatever he wants. But at the same time, she's refreshing your profile. Checking if you viewed her stories. Wondering if you've moved on. Pride versus curiosity. And right now, they're at war. If you've seen this behavior, you're watching her psychology shift in real time. That comfortable certainty she had in stage 1 is cracking. She might even reach out with something casual. A meme. A question about something random. An excuse to start a conversation without making it obvious she's bothered by your silence. This isn't her admitting anything. This is her testing to see where your head is. And here's the difference between what she tells her friends and what she's actually feeling. To her friends, she's saying, he's being weird. I don't know what his problem is. I'm not worried about it. But alone at night, she's thinking, why isn't he texting me? Did I mess this up? Is he done? The validation she used to get from your consistent attention is gone. And that absence creates a void she can't ignore. She's thinking about you more than you're thinking about her. And deep down, she's starting to realize it. Most men break here. They see her post, and they react. They comment. They like. They reach out. Big mistake. Because what you don't realize is that stage 3 is where the real transformation happens. And if you break now, you'll never get there. What comes next is invisible, but it's the most powerful shift of all. Stage 3. 3 to 5 days of silence. This is where the shift from ego to vulnerability happens. That defensive energy from stage 2. It starts to soften into something deeper. Something genuine. Here's the question that forms in her mind. Did I lose him? Not, is he busy? Not, is he playing games? The question becomes personal. Vulnerable. Did I actually push him away? She starts thinking about you differently now. Not as the guy who's always there, but as the guy who might not be there anymore. And that realization changes everything. Here's what happens. She starts replaying moments. Conversations where you were patient with her. Times you showed up when she needed you. The little things you did that she didn't acknowledge at the time. Good morning texts she took for granted. The way you used to check in on her day. And now those moments hit differently because you're not doing them anymore. This is where comparison starts. She's wondering, is he talking to someone else? Did he meet someone who appreciates him more? Is there another woman getting the attention I used to get? That thought eats at her. Not because she's jealous in a toxic way, but because she's starting to realize what she had. And the possibility that someone else might be getting it now makes her feel something she didn't expect. Loss. The fear becomes real. Not just ego fear like in stage 2. Genuine fear that she actually messed this up. That you're not coming back. That this isn't a phase or a mood. That you've genuinely moved on. Here's what she's thinking now. Maybe I did take him for granted. He was always consistent, and I got comfortable. I didn't have to try because he was always going to be there. But now he's not, and I don't know how to fix it. This is the stage where she starts to value what you brought. She notices what's missing. The stability, the consistency, the way you made her feel chosen, the emotional safety you provided without her even realizing it. And here's what you'll notice on your end. If she reaches out at this stage, it's different from stage 2. In stage 2, it was casual testing. In stage 3, there's weight to it. She might ask how you've been. She might reference something from the past. She might even admit she's been thinking about you. She's not panicking yet, but the comfort is gone. The certainty that you'd always orbit around her. That died in stage 2. Now she's genuinely wondering if she lost you. Remember when I said in stage 1 she thought you were just busy? Then in stage 2, her ego took a hit. Stage 3 is where it becomes real. She's not defending her pride anymore. She's questioning if she made a mistake. And here's what most men don't realize. If she reaches out at stage 3, your response determines everything. But before we talk about what to do, you need to understand stage 4. Because this is where her psychology becomes your advantage. Stage 4. 5 to 10 days of silence. This is where the internal battle becomes intense. The pride versus desire conflict from stage 3. It's at war now. Here's what's happening in her mind. Every day, multiple times a day, she's asking herself the same question. Should I reach out or should I wait? She picks up her phone, opens your conversation, starts typing, then deletes it, tells herself she's not going to chase. But an hour later, she's doing the same thing again. This is obsessive thinking. You occupy her mind in a way you didn't before. Before bed, she's thinking about you. When she wakes up, you're the first thought. Random moments during the day, something reminds her of you and she spirals. Here's the projection that happens. She starts imagining you moving on. In her mind, there's already another woman. Someone who's getting your attention. Someone who appreciates what she didn't. And even though she has no evidence, the thought eats at her. That's jealousy forming without proof. Every woman in your orbit becomes a potential threat in her head. Your coworker, a friend, someone from your past. She's creating scenarios that don't exist because your absence left a void her mind is desperate to fill with answers. And here's where regret starts to solidify. Not just, maybe I took him for granted. Now, I messed this up. He was good to me, and I didn't see it. Now he's probably done with me. She's replaying every moment she was dismissive, every time she took your effort for granted, every time she prioritized something else over you. And it hurts. Not ego hurt like stage 2. Genuine emotional pain. You'll see this in her behavior. She's checking your profile constantly, watching your activity, looking for clues about your life without her. If you post anything, she's analyzing it. Who liked it? Who commented? If there's a woman involved, She's spiraling even more. And here's what she does that most men never see. She drafts texts to you that she never sends. I miss you. Can we talk? I've been thinking about you. She types them out, stares at them, then deletes them because her pride won't let her hit send. This is the moment where the initial confusion from stage 1 has become full recognition. She knows now. She knows she wants you back. She knows she messed up. She knows your silence isn't a game. It's real. If you've made it this far in watching this, you're serious about understanding female psychology. And you're about to see why stage 4 matters so much. Because what happens at stage 5 determines everything. She either reaches out with a completely different energy, or she exits. And how you recognize which path she's on is critical. Stage 5. 10 days or more of silence. This is where her psychology reaches a decision point. Two paths emerge from here, and recognizing which one she's on tells you everything. Path A. The respect shift. She reaches out, but not like stage 2 testing. Not even like stage 3 vulnerability. This is different. There's genuine energy behind it. She's not playing games. She's not testing your reaction. She's admitting, through her actions and sometimes her words, that your absence affected her. Her tone is softer, more vulnerable. She might say things like, I've been thinking about us, or, I miss talking to you, or even, I realize I didn't appreciate what you brought. What changed? Your silence showed her something she couldn't ignore. That you're outcome independent, that you have standards, that you can walk away. And that level of self-respect is magnetic to women. It rebuilds attraction from a place of genuine respect. You'll see this in her behavior. She initiates plans. She shows investment. She's not just responding anymore. She's pursuing. And the dynamic between you shifts permanently. She treats you differently because she's seen you differently. Path B. The exit. She never reaches out. Or if she does, it's surface level and dies quickly. She finds validation elsewhere. Moves on. Focuses on other things. Your silence didn't create longing. It confirmed distance. And here's the truth about this path. It means the interest was never deep enough to begin with. Silence doesn't create attraction. It reveals it. If she was genuinely invested, your absence would trigger stages 1 through 4. If she wasn't, she'll exit quietly. This is actually good news. Because it saved you time with someone who wasn't matching your investment. You kept your dignity. You maintained your standards. And you learned exactly where you stood. Here's how you differentiate. Path A. Women reach out with weight and vulnerability. Path B. Women either go completely silent or stay surface level. Path A shows you changed her perception. Path B shows she was never truly invested. The power of silence isn't manipulation. It's revelation. Your absence revealed her truth. From the confusion in stage 1, to the ego hit in stage 2, to the vulnerability in stage 3, to the obsession in stage 4, every stage showed you exactly how she feels. If she reached path A, she respects you now in a way she didn't before. If she reached path B, you have your answer without wasting more time. Understanding her mind through these 5 stages is powerful. But here's what you need to know about your move. Because knowing what happens in her psychology is one thing. Knowing what to do with that knowledge is where most men fail. Here's what you need to know about responding. First, timing. Never break silence before stage 3 at minimum. If she reaches out in stage 1 or 2, she's still testing. Your silence hasn't done its work yet. If she contacts you in stage 3, acknowledge it, but stay grounded. Don't rush back to old patterns. She's vulnerable here. but your frame determines if that respect stays or disappears. If she reaches out in stage 4 or 5 with genuine energy, you can engage. But here's the key. Match her investment level. Don't give more energy than she's bringing. That's how you lose the respect you just earned. What not to do. Never explain your silence. Never apologize for it. Never over-pursue when she comes back. The moment you start chasing again, you reset everything to how it was before. Remember that ego hit she felt in stage 2. Your reaction now either confirms that shift or reverses it. Here's the principle. Your attention is a reflection of her investment. If she's showing up with effort, reciprocate. If she's half committed or testing, mirror that energy. Stay grounded. Language matters. Keep responses calm and brief initially. Something like, "Good to hear from you. How have you been?" Not cold. Not desperate. Balanced. If she's coming back entitled, "Still playing games," testing your reaction, those are red flags. It means she didn't go through the full psychological shift. She's checking if you'll fold. Green flags look different. She's vulnerable. She acknowledges the distance. She shows genuine interest in reconnecting, not just getting validation. She's putting in effort without needing you to chase. The frame you maintain now determines everything. If you stay outcome independent, calm, grounded, her respect stays. If you break and start explaining yourself or chasing, you lose it instantly. But here's the truth. Most men need to hear about silence as a strategy. This isn't about manipulation. It's about something more important. Silence isn't a trick. It's a boundary. It's self-respect. The real power isn't in making her miss you. It's in being outcome independent. Not needing her validation. Not needing her response. Having standards that matter more than getting her attention. This is the masculine frame women respond, not because it's manipulative, but because it's real. A man who can walk away is a man who knows his worth. And that level of self-respect is magnetic. Here's what makes this authentic. When you pull back, you're not playing games. You're genuinely focusing on yourself, building your life, improving, moving forward with or without her. That energy is what creates the shift. And here's the truth most men need to hear. If your silence loses her, she was never really yours. You can't lose someone who was genuinely invested. Silence reveals the truth. It doesn't destroy what was real. It exposes what wasn't. That's freedom. You stop wondering. Stop chasing. Stop trying to convince someone to see your value. You create standards, and you let those standards filter for you. The man who understands this never gets stuck in the anxiety you felt clicking this video. Because he knows his silence isn't weakness. It's strength. It's self-respect. And it's the fastest way to reveal her truth. Now you know exactly what happens inside her mind when you go silent. Use that knowledge wisely. I want to hear from you. Have you ever gone silent on a woman and watched her psychology shift exactly like this? Which stage did you see her reach before she came back? Or maybe you're in the middle of it right now, watching these stages unfold in real time. Drop your experience in the comments. Tell me what stage she's at, what you're seeing, how you're handling it. I'll be reading every comment and engaging with you because these stories teach all of us something. This isn't just about one situation. It's about understanding female psychology so you can make better decisions in every relationship moving forward. The men in this community understand what most men never will. That silence isn't a game. That self-respect isn't negotiable. That your attention has value and should be earned, not expected. If you want more truth about how women actually think, not the sugar-coated version, hit subscribe. Share this with a brother who's stuck wondering what's going on in her mind. These conversations matter because real growth starts with real truth. Every video on this channel breaks down female psychology from a woman's perspective. The things we admit to each other but rarely say out loud to men. You're getting insider access to how we actually think, feel, and respond. Remember this. Your silence isn't weakness. It's strength. It's boundaries. It's self-respect. And it's the fastest way to reveal her truth. Be the man who knows his worth. Be the man who doesn't chase. Be the man she can't forget because you refuse to be taken for granted. That's how you win. Now you know exactly what happens inside her mind when you go silent. Use it wisely.